You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Revenge After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Revenge After Show.
Welcome, everybody. Bing is for doing it. We're finally back for Revenge, Season 2, Episode 19, called Identity. Yes.
It's been so long.
I know. We're in the final stretch. We're Episode 19. We've got...
how many left?
Up to 22, but the finale will be a two-parter, so 2 hours.
2 hours. Well,
Lucky us.
And what day is the finale?
I don't know. I can't do math.
They're going to keep delaying it.
Yeah, I was going to say, even if we didn't
Could be
know,
October at this point, the way they've been going.
Say it ain't so.
For those of you who don't remember, I am Phil Svitek, joined alongside Roxy Striar.
Hello.
And across from me, we have Anna Koppel.
Hey, guys.
That's Koppel for mayor.
That's right.
Exactly.
Not governor. Not quite governor.
Not yet.
Voting.
Yeah.
And we have Katherine Tulich.
Hi.
It's been a while. It's like
Been
a
a
reunion
while.
for us.
I know.
Overall, what did you guys think of tonight's episode?
I loved it.
Okay. Anyone else?
I thought the revenge theme was very strong tonight in terms of the fact that how revenge is used to sort of, revenge is used, but then also we talk about against revenge in terms of what's going to happen after revenge.
Through Aiden.
Through Aiden, yes.
That is correct.
Yes.
And, obviously the theme is identity, but what I loved, Dan kind of tied it in with the double infinity and what that meant to him, which was, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say about my overall opinion on the episode. I'm not necessarily feeling like this is a bad thing, but this was very soap opera-y tonight. It was very soap opera-y.
Oh, I agree.
Which I think we kind of needed because it's big, dramatic Falcon reveal. But I felt like I was watching an episode of All My Children.
Oh, really?
But I love All My
But
Children.
they didn't do all those looks to the camera. Come on, it's not that bad.
Aiden did.
Yeah, but I love soap operas, so hey.
I mean, it's. I feel like it's why we fell in love with Revenge.
Yeah, it is. It's a nighttime soap.
It
is a nighttime soap.
Yeah.
So in terms of identity, it is interesting. I love the fog in the shower. And like what is our true identity? Sometimes it's even masked from ourselves. So I thought that was an overall good theme for this. So.
And of course, we revealed a big identity tonight.
We certainly did. We'll hold off to talk about. Well, let's talk about Charlotte Clark.
What is going on with Charlotte?
By the way, it is frightening that Roxy knew what was going to happen as soon as Regina said, let's do something bad.
Really?
That's what girls do, Like,
They do?
Let's do something naughty, and then they make out. Like, or at least you see that on TV all the time. I feel like, honestly, okay, I feel a little judgment from this side over here.
I know what she was going to do right away, too. I'm not judging at all. I absolutely, there is no question in my mind. They didn't even have to cut away to, come on.
Yeah, the way she phrased it, the whole thing. And, of course, we knew there was going to be a picture taken, and that's how Declan was eventually going to catch her. So why not make it a picture of her making out with another chick?
But why?
Drama.
But why? I didn't get the reason why she's decided to turn this way against Dick. Yeah.
Just drunk girls going to clubs and
Yeah, but
How about
it
this?
kind of came out of nowhere.
I'll pose this, and you guys can defend it or go against it. The fact that Regina said, I'm trying to figure out what my brother felt when he did it. That's the first time someone's really kind of acknowledged it for her. And, Declan's kind of been there, but, they had that whole tiff at that point, so he wasn't really there, or she wasn't there for him. So could she be going back to that? I don't know.
I'm just glad they brought it back up because my biggest pet peeve on shows is when you have something like so monumental like that, and then a year later, everybody completely forgot about it. And by a year, I mean a couple episodes. Like, it happens all the time. So the fact that it's still being acknowledged as part of her backstory is huge.
Agree.
You know,
I'm glad. Thanks, team. Love the support.
And I also think, you know, the whole point is, like, you know, how far do we change? Can we change? And with Charlotte, you know, it's pointed out to her, like, oh, what, he's some Harvard girl now? And no, she's, you know, she's trying to change her name to Clark and things like that. But, she, you know, none of these people can really escape who they truly are. Victoria certainly can. We'll talk about that. So I thought it was an interesting point.
And also she was acknowledging how she couldn't really get away from herself. So, I mean, I think she's just now sort of saying that, you know, okay, the cameras are on me, I'm going to use them. So it's almost embracing that notoriety.
I don't quite understand how she went from punching this girl in the face and, you know, threatening round 2 to, like, yeah, let's go get cappuccinos and make out.
Yeah,
Actually,
I get the same thing. It kind of was weird.
It felt very, honestly, because I'm the first one always on these shows to knock it, being like, that's so not realistic. This I could totally see happening. Very high school, you know? 1 minute somebody's your enemy and it's just because of something small. Actually, the reason that Charlotte punched her wasn't small, but, you know, like a petty little thing. And then the next minute they're your best friend. It's happened. I've seen it happen to friends of mine before. I also think Charlotte felt really bad. And once she could relate to this girl, I felt like she was, like, trying to help. And also, you know, the more somebody, like, eggs you on, oh, you don't want to be that bad girl anymore. Charlotte's like, yes, I do. Oh, yes, I do, you know. So trying to prove herself and not really sure who she is yet and going back to her old ways and kind of just full circle.
So here's a question. Do you think that Regina genuinely wants to be friends with Charlotte, or is this a setup?
I think something's up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not positive about it, but just the gut feeling I have originally is I think something's up. I think
As
she probably
always.
wants, like, notoriety or something, at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah, I have, like, an icky, sort of unsafe feeling about
Right.
it.
Here's what I was actually kind of down on was the fact, obviously it hit Declan pretty hard, but the fact that it didn't come into Nightline. Nice plug for Nightline.
Wasn't it a plug?
You know, because I mean, obviously they had their scoop of Victoria, but you know, this could have came out like, hey, we just received, you know, paparazzi photos of your daughter.
Yes, exactly. That's right. They weren't on it. Come on. Yeah.
So, you know,
Although she was probably out when Nightline was airing by that point because she was out at night.
well, that's what that's what I'm saying. I think they could have, you know, gotten it. I don't know. I think it'll definitely play because it's too timely, you know, with Conrad's governorship.
Right.
So.
Well, that's when all the secrets come out of the closet anyway, you know. They
But we are not afraid. Our daughter is a lesbian, and we will accept that.
Okay, do you think she was making out because of that, or she was just making out?
No, she was just making out to make out.
Honestly, though, I didn't know. Is that the way they would even go about that? Our daughter's a lesbian? Because I feel like he tonight tried to play the I'm very conservative card.
Yeah, I mean, I
And
don't
was
know
like,
how
if
he
she
would
could go
handle-
back, she would be pro-life. You know?
I don't know how he would handle it. It's going to be funny. I think that's something that we will see, though. So I think you guys are right in that respect. How do you guys feel about poor Declan? Can't even write an essay.
Oh, Declan, that was sad.
I mean, he's just been very good to
Charlotte.
recently,
Yeah.
thank you. And I feel bad for him. But, you know, there are the nice guys, and unfortunately, sometimes they finish last.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounded so icky when I said it out
Yeah.
loud. But, like, you know, again, this whole high school thing, it's a really tough time for some people. And when everybody's trying to find themselves, some people get lost.
Here's what I feel for Declan. Obviously, there's, you know, the tragedy that he's gone through is just insurmountable in many ways. But as Declan stands, if you take that away, you know, he's had all these things handed to him. And the fact that, okay, you can try to write an essay to NYU. Or Harvard if you really must. But, like, come on. You have all these people pushing for you.
Yeah.
You can rise above.
There are also, like, tutors and a writing center, I'm sure, at school. He could try.
He's very self-loathing to me, and I don't like that.
Guys, are you serious right now? This had nothing to do about the essay. They need an excuse for why she was ditching him and it was a big deal.
I understand it was a plot device. But I'm just saying, in terms of Declan, don't just throw in plot devices, because then I'm going to further...
Do you have a little man crush on Declan? You love it. You love
Certainly
it.
not from. Well, he's into guys from Gossip Girl, correct?
Oh,
Well,
true.
plot device or not, I feel like Declan is just way too. His whole life is Charlotte, and maybe not his whole life.
Obsessed.
He does. He cares about Jack and Carl as well, but he just has too much invested in Charlotte. You know, he should branch out.
By the
Should
way,
branch out.
just kind of off topic, but on topic. How does it make Jack feel that, Jack says tonight, I don't want any one of the Conrads near our son, and Charlotte.
But he said Charlotte's different.
He said the Graysons,
The Graysons, yeah.
and she's a Clark.
Yeah. Didn't he say Charlotte was
But she's
different?
the
yeah,
daughter.
he specifically did say
Said
that.
Charlotte's different.
And you can tell Declan
was
wants to
like,
almost say,
No, she's not.
Right.
She's not.
She's the worst.
Yeah.
But, that's always tough too. You don't want to jump the gun and tell your family members when your significant other does something wrong, because don't you always feel like they're so judgmental, and just in case you end up getting back with that person. So I
Right.
get why Declan is not like full disclosure with Jack about everything Charlotte does.
Right.
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 But he kind of agrees when they
Right.
said you can't trust anyone.
Right. That's true too. But why was he so quick to say, yeah, like Ashley? That was weird to me too.
Who said Ash?
Declan said when Jack says you can't trust anyone, and Declan's like, yeah, like Ashley.
Well, who would trust Ashley? Come on.
It just seemed random to me, like foreshadowing or something.
What
No,
Jack?
as in like.
No, he's just
It's
careful.
obvious. How can you not? How can you trust Ashley? I think it was just stating the obvious.
I think Ashley's a scorpion. The frog and the
Yes.
scorpion. She can't help it.
Okay, but
Yeah.
girl's got style. She looks good all the time.
I love the gloves.
I love the lips, the gloves, the jacket. I'm like, can I be your friend and go in your closet? Just play there for a day?
There's the takeaway.
What Jack said was we need to be careful about who we trust, and he said like Ashley, and Jack said something like, Ashley's
using-
slick, and I'm using her to my advantage.
Yeah.
So I think what he's saying is like, I agree, I don't
You're
trust her
right.
either, but I'm gonna use her for what I can use her for.
Yeah, because Jack's wising up.
Right.
He's not trusting anyone anymore.
Yeah, finally getting it together.
Yeah.
Well, what do you guys think of the Conrad plan and how, the trio of them kind of working tonight?
The trio.
Trio of who?
The Jack, Ashley, and Conrad. Not that they're working together, but in terms of working as a storyline.
I think that Ashley's loyalty lies with herself alone, and I'm very nervous about her being at the tip of this triangle. She holds a lot of power right now, and
But Jack
obviously
gave her
we're
the plan. Jack.
yeah, he did. But it's kind of like the Falcon. Wherever the bigger challenge lies, wherever more money is, that's where she'll go. That's how I feel about her. At
So
least
what advantage is it for her to be playing with Jack at this point?
none yet.
That's what I
I'm
can't
nervous
see,
that
yeah.
something like the unforeseeable future, in case Conrad figures this out and can kind of pin it back against her and offer her something better. I just don't trust her.
Exactly.
Right, which is what it all comes down to, like we're saying.
What? Did we ever figure out why Conrad was with Allison Stoddard?
No.
No one knew.
No one knew. That's a
it-
foreshadow.
I hope it wasn't just one of those things that got Ashley back
Right.
into the mix.
Because if it was that, it could have been any young girl and she could have pulled you're having an affair, but it was specifically the governor's wife. So what's going on?
And all of you guys looked at me when Ashley says the name and was like, who? And then we have the Jack. That's the governor's wife.
Yeah. Well, they had to do that because they had every audience member out there saying, what?
Yeah. So, but I like Jack playing detective, and we've never seen that out of him. But
I know I'm scared he's not very good at it yet.
he's not, And here's the thing: he's working with Ashley. Who knows where Kenny lies in this? Because we haven't let Kenny go.
Right.
Because that was the kind of last thing that the last kind of PR thing that they did was they got in Conrad's head, and then they asked the question that they weren't supposed to.
Right. But don't you guys just see Jack as like the little kid sitting at the grown-up table right now?
Oh, so see it
Yeah,
that way. I
of
mean,
course.
he's beyond this.
I know. So
But he doesn't quite realize it. He thinks he's getting pretty
Yeah,
smart. He actually
exactly.
thinks he's a lot smarter than
Yeah.
he is.
and that's the issue. Like, even though he's, as we said, wising up and
Yeah.
picking not to trust everybody, he's still trusting the wrong people when Emily's the one he should be trusting this whole time. Nolan is the one he should be trusting. I mean, do you guys I think he can trust Emily and Nolan. right?
I mean, I think he should.
Yeah.
Of course.
We know that. He should just watch the damn show. And he'd know.
He
What a
should.
loser.
I agree. He should read Emily's blog. I'm sure there's one out there. How to Get Revenge.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, but I love the whole the Nightline thing and how Conrad, you know, kind of amassed this whole plan, and you know we're gonna face our demons head on, and you know specifically with the Ashley thing, you know the things that you know if we're to be truthful, he's still not truthful even despite all that. You know, things still continue to come out of the closet.
They don't understand the meaning of the word truthful, honest, full disclosure. Like, it's just not. We've heard them say it a lot now.
In the words of Victoria, look it up on an online dictionary.
Yeah, but I mean, Conrad was kind of caught off guard though with that interview. He thought
certainly
he thought he was revealing a truth, but it wasn't.
All these people think they're so damn smart.
Yeah.
But we're the smart ones.
Because we're the audience members.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Victoria in that case then. You know, I liked. Why didn't she say to Conrad? I mean, obviously she felt that you know she had it all under control.
That it was all covered up. That she was okay. The Falcon had covered all her tracks.
But you know, I mean, typically we've seen that you know, for better or worse, Conrad and Victoria, they share their demons with each other. You know, and you know they kind of handle it together.
I think that's exactly why she didn't. This is the one that's hers. And it's been hers the whole time, and it's never come out, and it's been 16 years, and, you know, everything else, like, she thought maybe would slip with this. She trusted the Falcon. Again, this all goes back to trusting people too much and trusting the wrong person.
I think also she didn't tell Conrad or tell anybody because I'm sure we all have like that one thing that we swear we're going to take to the grave. It's just like so horrible, and maybe it is and maybe it isn't. No, I mean like there's varying degrees.
I'm like, tell me more.
Yes, come on.
There are varying degrees of like how, but it just like feels bad and you have shame about it, and so you don't tell people.
But you can tell us.
Yeah,
But
you can tell us. Come on, you can trust us.
Go to iTunes.
All right, everybody settle down.
Bugs. No, I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. Like, there's some things that you're not ready, and you're never gonna be ready to talk about.
Right.
And this
So
is that.
I have a question. Do you think that whole story of abuse from her, was it stepfather?
Yeah.
Was completely made up as well?
No.
Okay, all right.
No,
Because
I
she
don't
was
think-
lying about the fact, the abortion and everything. I just wondered if she made the whole story up.
No, we've seen flashbacks of that.
right.
Too.
Yeah, and that's something that, especially victims of abuse, that's a horrible thing, and it's awful, and they carry that with them. And go ahead. What do you want
I
to
was just going to say, it's an interesting point that you ask, or an interesting question to bring up. Is she making that up? Because I think that's going to be the exact problem. No, I don't believe she is, but kid who cried wolf, absolutely. Like, she's got all these things, and there's so many lies. How are you supposed to decipher what's true and what's not? And I think that's the exact problem her children have with her. Really, theoretically, they should feel very bad for her with her upbringing and everything that's happened, but she's now done so many horrible things, and she's claimed she hasn't. It's like, where's the line? What's the truth? What's not? So I think she's going to really struggle with that if we get a season 3 out of this.
And that's the sad part out of all of it, is that Victoria, she loves her. Out of all the things that the goodness in her is that she loves her children no matter what. She's the one who ends up hurting all of them the most.
Right.
I mean, the kid, who the hell knows where he is?
Yeah.
Dan, she just continues to hurt him, and Charlotte is making out with girls.
You're just going to say that as much as possible to
And that's Victoria's fault.
It certainly is.
Everything's Victoria's fault.
So,
So just to clarify the storyline, she didn't give the kid up for adoption at birth. She had Patrick for 6 months, and basically when was offered a position at where was it?
A scholarship to an
she
art
dumped
school.
the kid.
Yeah.
That's so much. In my opinion, that is just so much worse.
That was much worse.
It's one thing to make a decision that
at
you
birth,
right,
that
no matter what you cannot handle having a child.
Yeah.
It's also another thing to have a child and realize that you cannot support it. But it's a completely different thing to have a child that you are managing to support. And just decide that you don't want it anymore.
Let me ask you
I
this.
found that astounding.
For the sake of argument, why couldn't she have gone for 2 years, whatever it was, and then, had for that time duration gotten a nanny or something?
Exactly. I know.
What? There's a gap there that we don't know about.
Because then we wouldn't have been able to watch tonight's episode, and it wouldn't have been as awesome.
I mean, this
No, I
is
think
true.
maybe was she financially well off at the time?
Well, she was looking after the kid obviously for 6 months.
Right, but remember, her mom was a gold digger and she didn't have much money. She's looking after the kid. We see her in a park. It's not like we see her in a massive mansion sitting in her dining room with her chandelier over her table. Like,
But at the same time, she's painting.
Yeah.
Right.
Out, so it's kind of the typical artist of okay, where are you going to paint?
It
In your
didn't
own
look
room?
like she was struggling. I mean,
She was put together and had makeup.
Yeah, it didn't look like she was in a coal mine.
the way we find out, too, is so weird. She's like, but this is only one ticket.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I don't even think you need to buy infants
No, you
plane
just put them
tickets.
on
You put them on. Yeah, I don't even think that's true. And second of all, then scrounge all the money you have together and buy the infinite plane ticket and have it live with you. Go to class, whatever you need to do, you do it. People put themselves through school all the time when they have a kid. All the time. I have classmates that have kids, bring their kids to class, whatever it is, you do what you got to do. You don't just give away the kid. I didn't even know that was an option.
Exactly.
I've never even heard of that before.
Yeah, that says a lot about her.
Yeah, because she's gotten to know this baby 6 months. She's named him. She's, presumably
Spent 6 months with him.
Has a relationship with her son, and then goes, see ya.
We're really unraveling this Victoria thing.
Well, it reveals a really. Sometimes you feel for Victoria, that she has a history and that she has a past that maybe explains what she is currently like. And we do see glimpses of some sort of, redeeming factor in Victoria. But that is quite an astounding reveal that you would be that callous.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that usually when you have parents that are such extremists, you either go the exact opposite direction or you follow in their footsteps. And we would like to think that Victoria went the exact opposite way as her mother. But it's things like this where it's like, that just seems very much like something you learned from the lady who raised you.
Well, actually, now that you say that, it actually makes more sense because if one doesn't receive that sort of love and nurturing and mothering, then how does one know how to give it?
Right.
So there must be some sort of disconnect, some sort of emotional shutdown.
But at the same time, I mean, it's, if you know you're missing something, okay, you identify, what am I missing?
How do you know you're missing something unless you've ever had it?
And a 16-year-old doesn't have time to figure that out. I mean, she's too young still to even
Making out with other girls.
Hanging out with other girls. That's what girls do.
No, but I think, there's the basic need to be seen, heard, felt, nurtured, whatever those basic needs are at birth. And if you're not given them, you don't realize how important the relationship between a mother and a daughter. And so she maybe just, when she gave up the baby, didn't even realize that was a huge deal because her mother was a negative factor in her life, not something positive.
And it's interesting that this is an art scholarship, right? Well, Victoria's finally finding an outlet to express herself, and obviously now with Conrad, she doesn't have that. She's lost all artistic. Remember her affair in season
with
1?
the artist, right?
Yeah, I mean, she's always been kind of striving towards that to find her voice.
It's like she could have been one person or the other, and instead she kind of walks the line.
But that was the other astounding thing about that decision that I found tonight is that she gave up the kid to presumably pursue a career, and she ends up just becoming a wife. Like her path, if that was the decision.
But all the more upsetting to Victoria.
That's what I'm saying. It was interesting that Victoria obviously, that's a pretty monumental decision to say, okay, I'm giving up my kid because, I want to have a degree and pursue a career. And she ends up just being a rich guy's wife. I mean, what ambition was that?
Sometimes in order to follow your dreams, you have to give up everything. That's not me excusing what she did, but sometimes that is what it takes to make it to where you want to be. You have to give up everything. So if she clearly did give up everything, you wonder, what happened? What is the thing that she didn't give up, or what is the hurdles she couldn't jump over, and maybe it was just her. She got in her own way. I don't really know, but clearly an event took place or something happened, because otherwise she'd still be in Paris.
Well,
Painting, loving life.
the interesting part for me was I loved her conversation with Falcon when she says, you know, I will not be caught in the crossfire of your duel. That was one for me. And then what I also liked was the fact that, you know, as Falcon and Nolan go at it, you know, you gotta wonder about Nolan. Like, for me, I was worried, was his identity going to get out into the world? You know what I mean?
Was whose identity going to get out?
Yeah.
Nolan. To Victoria or anyone else. Because, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, when they met at the arcade, what was to stop Falcon from saying, you know, Nolan's the guy that's doing this against me, watch out for Nolan?
Oh, you mean sort of reveal his kind of identity as a hacker and whatever? Is that what you mean? Because I know who Nolan is, but you mean what he's doing behind... Right.
Exactly, because it's so close to home of, okay, who's trying to figure him out? Nolan, you know, and then, you know, that... If had she known that information, that starts to unravel so many different things.
Well, I think exactly what we were talking about before is that the Falcon has no loyalty. So why the hell does the Falcon care to say that to Victoria?
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
in many ways, I think Falcon underestimated Nolan, and had the Falcon gave away Nolan's identity, Victoria would have crushed Nolan.
But I don't think she was just getting another... I don't think there was any benefit for her at
The
that
Falcon
point.
wasn't trying to crush Nolan.
Yeah.
It's all one big game. As the Falcon says, all that matters is the internet. You know, she's not looking to make relationships or make sure nobody else gets hurt. She doesn't care about that.
Well, that's where she went wrong, because ultimately now Victoria's with Nolan.
Yes.
I thought in that moment when they were playing Street Fighter,
Sounds so funny to say.
yeah, but it is because where I'm going with this. No, I thought Nolan's acting was so brilliant. I
He's
really
so
just,
good.
I just felt for him.
His
so much.
monologue?
Yeah, when he was talking about like really feeling, his eyes were like filling with tears.
And he was not losing that game.
No,
Like the
absolutely
build,
not.
and we knew the whole time. You know, sometimes they try to trick you, and you're like, "Is he gonna win? He's not." He knew. He was like, "This is my game,"
Yeah.
and I needed that confidence back in him. I mean, Gabriel Mann is just like the most genius actor ever. I say it every week. I'm like, that performance was brilliant, but I completely agree with you. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
I know. I really liked. You know what? What I liked was when finally Nolan accepted Emily's help. She was kind of removed from this and able to see. Okay, so his ego is his weakness. This is pretty simple.
The Falcon thing, yeah.
Yeah. You know, whereas Nolan for 6 weeks. Remember, we kept getting hit over the thing with the 6 weeks. You know, he couldn't figure it out. You know,
Well, it's like when you're too close to a project, you know, and you just can't, and somebody else walks in and they're like, "Oh,
Then-
all you need to do is," and it's like, "Holy crap."
Yeah.
The only thing that bothered me about this whole the Nolan thing is because, you know, he was mourning Padma, and immediately Emily kind of channels it into this thing of revenge, as they all do, is how they cope with loss.
That's what she says.
Channeling it into revenge. And I sort of thought she kind of, railroaded him a bit into kind of going, we've got to get the Falcon. You know, this is the way you should direct your emotions, direct your feelings. But I mean, is this ultimately the right part, which I think we bring up about the whole idea of revenge? Because I thought Nolan sort of didn't even have a chance to kind of mourn her without going, okay, I'm putting it into revenge, as Jack's done. Revenge. Everyone's kind of like...
I agree with the fact that
Yeah.
you have to do something.
Yeah.
Is revenge the best thing?
That's
I don't know.
right.
But you do need an outlet.
An outlet, but is this the right outlet? I just thought Emily kind of went, revenge is the answer.
There are people out there who, when you tell them what's going on and like bad things that go on in your life, who just listen and nod and they're there to hear it.
Yeah.
And then there are people that like need to take action and want to help you. And I wholeheartedly believe that Emily thinks that this is the most helpful thing she could do. I don't think she's trying to place her anger on somebody else or make people go down her path. I think that's the only path she knows.
That's
you
what I'm
know?
saying, but that is her path.
Right, that is her path. And honestly, I don't think it's necessarily a bad one in this case. In other cases, I do. But in this specific one, and getting the Falcon locked up, I don't know. I think it kept him occupied, and it made him feel like. That being said, obviously I have no relationship with the Falcon. Maybe she's a perfectly kind girl, and now I feel bad. But who's to say, you know? So I think that it really did. It helped him. He had a big smile on his face.
Oh, yeah.
But to that point, you know, when Aiden and Takeda met, Takeda was sort of giving him advice and whatever. And Aiden said, Emily needs me. And Takeda said, Emily needs revenge.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the only thing that drives her. And so what happens after she gets revenge on whomever?
Do you believe in love after revenge?
That's what Aiden asks Emily tonight. You know, he says what happens after, and I mean, who knows if this is true? But her answer is they happen after.
And I think she believes that, but is that true? Because Takeda seems to think that revenge is the only thing that drives her.
Here's the thing, I'm with Aiden on this, only because this is nothing against the actor, but because he played an evil man on Mortal Kombat,
Like,
and that's speaking to me.
Never seen it.
Yeah, I just can't associate him with a good guy on Revenge.
Really?
Really, it's just me. Nothing again. There's nothing that he could do or say to make me think.
I mean, you're gonna yell at me now because this is getting into predictions, but Aiden's gonna go. Unfortunately, he's gonna die.
He's gotta die.
You gotta
Who's
get rid
gonna
of one
kill
of the
him?
guys.
I think Takeda's gonna kill him, and here's why he has to die. There's too many guys in Emily's life, and the audience is torn.
Yeah, it's too many.
They're torn between Aiden and Jack. Nobody actually wants her to end up with Daniel, and if you do, really.
I don't even like Jack anymore. I'm for Aiden.
Anyway, though, so
I like Aiden.
I love Aiden. That's the problem.
Right.
That the story was never intended for Emily and Aiden to end up together, and he's got. Unfortunately, I think he's awesome. I love his character. He's hot, good to look at.
Hear that, Barry Sloan? You got a fan.
He's gonna die.
Oh.
All right.
It's a bummer.
gotta
It's
go,
absolutely a bummer.
I agree. I totally agree.
Okay.
And now he is the anti-revenge. And
That's right.
you can't be anti-revenge
On a show called Revenge. Right.
Revenge.
True.
They're setting it up right now.
And be with a woman who's driven by revenge.
Right.
It doesn't work.
It's not gonna work.
Well, here's it's interesting because he found no peace in the fact that he took out
Yes.
his sister's killer. Whereas,
right.
think about that moment between Emily and Nolan where she sends him the photo and he says this is for Pat. She says this is for Padma, and then he says and for David.
Yeah.
And they have that. They find peace in that weirdly. So
Yeah. Yeah.
they are different than Aiden.
Nolan's another man in her life, and they work better together. I'm not talking about them as a couple. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, there are too many main guys in Emily's life right now.
Yes.
There's such thing as opposites attract, like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but you don't want a jelly and mayonnaise sandwich. And that's what Aiden and Emily are. Jelly and mayonnaise.
Which one's mayonnaise?
Yeah. White jelly.
Totally
mayonnaise.
Aiden. Emily is so jelly. I'm not sure why.
All right.
It's just how I feel.
All right.
Can't wait for the. All right. Speaking of that,
Oh, that sounds
fans,
disgusting.
fans, write in. Let us know what you think of mayonnaise versus jelly. And have you ever had a mayonnaise and jelly sandwich?
Yuck.
That is really disgusting.
Yeah.
It's quite
Nasty.
disgusting.
Gross. That's
But
gross.
write in, let us know, rate and comment, and also some exciting news. You guys can now watch us live on your iPhones, iPads, Androids, all that. No longer do you have to be at a computer.
Which is so amazing because Phil's been working on it forever and now it's done.
I felt like Nolan, where I couldn't defeat the damn Falcon, and then I defeated the damn Falcon.
Yeah,
Now
you
you can
did.
stream us live
Okay.
anywhere. So hopefully, you can ride around your car. Just listen to
No,
us.
yeah,
though.
but
Oh, I
you
like
don't want to be
that.
looking when driving.
But I like that better that you're going with the car reference now because last week it was the bathroom reference.
I didn't mean anything with that.
I thought that was kind of weird.
Notice how, by the way, I didn't make the reference, but then it always comes back, and then I'm still left to look like an idiot and a bad guy.
But sometimes, I don't know, maybe they're taking a nice bath. And,
So what I said was, listen, your viewing experience is uninterrupted. You could watch us anywhere. You don't have to stay at your computer, because. And then I brought up a bathroom.
Dig in the hole. Dig in the hole.
Here's the problem: we didn't have to go there until she went there.
And I always go there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Can't
so
help
yes.
it.
Now you can. The point is, you can stream us live anywhere,
Hooray.
and I'll end it there.
Okay.
All right, back to Aiden. I really liked I liked the storyline. I liked how Takeda comes in and meets with Dan, and Dan's trying to get answers. I think that's before the season 2 finale. I think that'll be a nice development of what happens. And you know what? Roxy could be right. Aiden might die out of this.
I mean, let's examine it from a different light. What else could happen if he stays alive?
So who kills him? It seems like
Takeda, yeah.
Cicada.
Takeda, or is Takeda gonna manipulate Dan to do it?
No, it's Takeda. Dan's not
Dan,
gonna
come
kill
on.
him.
Is it
Well, he's gonna hire someone. He's not gonna kill someone, but he's gonna hire
It's
someone.
definitely Takeda, and then Emily breaks all ties from Takeda because she's pissed.
No, that can't happen. No.
I mean,
She won't know it's Takeda.
yeah.
I mean, unless it's Victoria, she's the only other killer on the show. It's Takeda.
What if it's Nolan? They've never gotten along.
No, it's not a killer.
No.
Nolan's been getting his hands dirty lately.
Caring for someone doesn't make you weak; it makes you stronger.
Yes.
Said
That's
by
right.
Nolan.
Right.
He's not a killer.
Agreed. I agreed. But he's been getting his hands dirtier and dirtier. He might start. But they've never gotten along ever.
They're dirty, but they're not bloody.
Well, we'll see.
That is true.
We'll see.
I think to an extent, Takeda will.
Charlotte.
Yes, Charlotte Clark.
She was high and making out.
Making out, and by accidentally her tongue slipped and stabbed him.
Yeah. It happens all the time.
Oh my God, we need to end this soon because
All
I'm
right,
getting delirious.
let's get on to Dan and Emily and that whole relationship. You know, obviously the reverse of Aiden and Emily.
I love how much Victoria hates her.
I would love to join the Conrad family or the Grayson family.
Grayson family.
One thing I will say about Victoria is she really does get that gut feeling about people, though, and she's had about Emily since the beginning, and she's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emily's totally onto her.
But she hasn't pinned anything. Again, had the Falcon revealed the identity of Nolan, this would be a whole big mess.
Yeah.
Just saying. I'm going to stick to that fact. But what do you think's going through Emily's mind right now? I mean, that was sneaky of just, even if forget like Revenge, that was a sneaky thing to do in any relationship of like, hey, the producers really want you to be on. And then.
Yeah, I would have been pissed at my boyfriend if that was the wedding bell question. I would have been like, really? That's how you're going to. Really? You know, and I would have, if I were Daniel, I would have said to the producers, oh, ask her about it. Don't say that he said to ask her about it, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like very sketchy, and to me, honestly, that's almost a deal breaker. I would have been like, after that, no. The wedding bells are not ringing.
But remember how wonderful the first proposal was? I mean, he did a really good job the first time.
And I felt like she wanted
sarcasm?
to marry him then too.
Yeah.
Like she actually kind of felt like that she really liked Daniel then.
And that was, in the show realized that was a problem. They didn't want us to like Daniel, so then they made him like semi-evil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not totally evil, because they still don't know, maybe.
Because I feel like she just doesn't like him at all anymore.
I just think that she's not a robot.
Yeah.
So she actually has emotions. So when she's sitting there about the ring, I think she's really thinking like, I don't want to ruin this kid's life.
Yeah.
But then she changes her mind and says, F it. I'll do it anyway.
Daniel's always going to be, ultimately he's going to be a casualty in this whole
Yeah,
thing.
he definitely is.
And, I by the way, I really liked her tactfulness with, in the morning, when she says, I'm going to visit Nolan. Hey, I'll come with you. No. You've had enough cameras in your life. You don't need to be involved.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty smart on her end.
She's a smooth talker.
In terms of the proposal, I thought it was good. When he says, hey, if you have it on your finger, I'll know my answer. I thought that was a smooth line.
Yeah.
I guess, but there's such thing as like dating and not being engaged. Because right now they're trying to figure it all out. He'll have his answer. Like, I felt like maybe a little soon.
Yeah, I mean, they're both in different places in life. They've changed, whatever. Daniel certainly is a different person now than he was when they were first engaged. I think maybe the dating period could go on a bit longer than.
I'm not saying another few years, but at least till the end of the season.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? How about this as a theory? Because Daniel's kind of becoming more and more like Conrad. I mean, the fact that he even stood up for him, a couple episodes ago would be unheard of. And, is this not what Conrad would in many ways do? I mean, think of his line tonight, like, I've always, yearned for you, or whatever he says to Victoria. And then I love how she shuts him down. You can only have one of two, so you'll get your governorship.
Right, yes.
So,
They are like the weirdest dynamic duo ever.
Yeah.
But it kind of works.
It works.
Yeah.
It works.
So, and with that, I think that's it. Unless we become like the double infinity sign and just keep reading ourselves. Well, than that, no? All right. Anyone want to say girls made out this episode? Did we mention that?
We did talk about
think you mentioned
Victoria
that, yes.
asking Nolan for help, right?
Yeah, we
Briefly.
mentioned it.
Briefly.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I think
that happened.
that happened. That's going to be
happened.
huge. I don't know how to filter that yet.
I'm really excited for that, actually.
It definitely gives a different dimension to the show that we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen them paired together, and also, maybe Nolan actually starts to feel for Victoria, and that could be like a game changer.
Yeah,
And obviously,
absolutely.
if we find the son? I mean, how will Patrick play into this?
Yeah, I can't wait to meet Patrick.
Yeah, who's going to be Patrick?
Really, Patrick ended up being a female, and it was the Falcon.
All right, well, with that speculation, let's get into
Kidding.
news and gossip.
AfterBuzz
Okay,
TV News.
so here's what I got for you guys. So there are only a couple episodes left of the season, and Mike Kelly, who is the current showrunner and series creator, he's going to finish out the season.
And then
But
step
if
down.
there is, but if there is a third season, he will not be a part of it.
Aw.
It seems like it was a very mutual breakup. He said it was a difficult mutual decision between myself and ABC Studios. It seemed like there wasn't any bad blood. ABC Studios said very similar things. We wish all the best for him. He was great the whole 2 years here. We had no problems. He said I had no problems working with them. So I wonder if he got another job. I don't really know. But
Here's what I know from inside sources.
Ooh, okay.
Well, it's a good thing. Mike he's right now in life examining things, and he wants to spend it more with his family.
Oh, did you really?
Yes, that's what I hear. At the they had their rap party, and he kind of announced it there to
Okay,
the
so-
cast and crew, and that's.
So you don't think it's going to do with the fact that this has been a troubled season in the sense of
it didn't seem like that.
ratings-wise, and I mean
From-
story direction-wise. I mean, people have been saying it was off track, and then they had to get back on track. You sure it wasn't because
Honestly,
it's been a rocky season?
I think if you have a hit show that is really at the peak of its season, I don't think you're stepping away from that.
But
So
I'm
I think it's
saying
made
it's
it
been-
easier, but I
Yeah.
don't think that's why he's leaving. I think, like you're saying, that's legitimate. And it really seemed from they interviewed people at ABC, him, people that work with it, whatever, and all the interviews I read, it just seemed like everybody was on the same page.
Right.
And you know what? Maybe to his credit, he could be self-aware of like, you know what? Maybe this hasn't been the best season. You know what? Because I know who they're trying to pick, and it's someone from the show who's done a great job. And so it
okay.
could be like, you know what? This person's done an amazing job, and clearly, for me, this is speculation, so this is not from my source. But where like, okay, I'll step down, let this person who's doing a fantastic job lead it, and get it back to its glory. I don't know. I don't know.
You just rarely hear of a good situation like that. So maybe somebody's covering for somebody, but it sounds okay for now. That's all I got for you.
The good news is there's talk of season 3.
Have they renewed it? Not yet.
Not yet. But the fact that we're even talking about this and trying to find replacements,
Yes.
that's
I
good
think
news.
I think
I
we're going up
definitely
soon. Yeah.
think. I don't even think we'll go one more season. I think we'll get a couple more seasons.
yeah.
For sure. I mean, we're so far away from tying up. Sometimes you watch a show and you're like, even if they get another season, what are they going to write about? Like, this is so tied up and whatever. This is like, there's so many loose ends right now that they could not possibly in the next couple episodes do this. There's no way.
An atomic bomb could drop, killing everyone but Emily. Done. That's my prediction, speaking of which. Let's get into predictions.
My big prediction was the Aiden thing, and I think that will happen.
I think it's a good one. I like that prediction.
I don't know if it will happen by the end of this season, but might,
Could be.
and that's why it's called a prediction.
Go ahead, Anna.
Well, I agree. I think Aiden is going to die. Not really sure when. I think Regina is, I don't know, going to pull something shiesty. I think she's going to do something to hurt Charlotte in her life somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think Emily is going to say yes to the engagement, but say, let's do it later. So she'll like pull a Carrie Bradshaw and wear the ring around her neck or something. So.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't have a prediction, but I'm just sort of worried about the whole Ashley, Jack. I'm kind of wondering where that's going to go. And, I think Jack's kind of really stepping into some murky waters dealing with Ashley, even though he thinks he's got it all under control.
Anybody who wears gloves, man, you got to look out for those killers.
Yeah.
Oh, is that some?
We have
revenge?
we have a fan comment that just came in via email, so I'm going to try to read it right now. From Karen, it says, "Great episode, and what a way to bring back the mojo of revenge again. Can't wait to see what happens next, but someone like Nolan needs to set Jack straight regarding Amanda, aka Emily." So that's what we have.
I agree, Karen.
I think...
Words of wisdom, baby.
Yes, thank you, Karen. And by the way, all fans, please email, comment. We love hearing that. And see, you're right, and just in time. I might read it on air.
Yeah.
That just came in from Karen. I think Nolan and Victoria is going to be interesting. And I had one more, but I forgot it. So on that note, let's end it right there.
Okay.
See you next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.